Before I start my speech, I'm going to apologize for A, sitting down, and B, potentially being slightly quiet. I am in a school library that's a little packed, but this is my best opportunity and place to record the speech. So we're going to be sitting. Hopefully we're not too quiet. Anyway, my name is Lucas Johnson, and today for my narrative speech, I am going to be telling you about a story that I had in my senior year of high school. So at the beginning of my senior year of high school, which was the fall of 2021, I came back to COVID restrictions on school like many of my other peers in this grade. Now, this frustrated me in particular because I had spent the past summer living with my family, going out with my friends with no COVID restrictions whatsoever, and we were all completely fine. There was no issue. Our families were completely unharmed. What ended up happening is when we got back, we had, as all of you know, social distancing, distance learning, masking, and I was really perturbed by the hindrance that all of these had on the academic and the social lives of the students in the school system. So I decided that I was going to organize a walkout at my school. And while this started a thing for me where I ended up going around the entire state advocating for students to use their voice and speak up on their opinions about COVID protocols, I'd really like to delve into two details about the story that I had in my senior year organizing this walkout. So when I first started it, it had a lot of pushback from the administration, from some parents, from some students. And I dealt with a lot of issues. One of them was I was actually threatened with expulsion. And when I started this process, I knew it was going to be a problem. I knew it was going to be difficult. And I had some friends that, a term that all of you would know is ride or die, right? A ride or die friend, someone who's there with you and that you're confident is going to be with you through an entire experience, no matter how difficult. And I thought they were going to be with me. And when times got tough, they jumped ship. And what happened was I had a teacher who I discussed this with on numerous occasions, and she was on the complete opposite end of the spectrum as it related to COVID. And she ended up being one of my largest sources of support and encouragement through the whole process at my high school. So the lesson that I learned there is that you can't always predict who's going to stay with you when times get tough. And you can't always predict who's going to be against you when times get tough and when things get hard. And that's something that I've kept with me. The second detail is when the walkout was organized and it happened, we had about 150 students participate. And as we were leaving, as we were packing up, one of these students had come to me and he had tears in his eyes. And I was mentally preparing for a student who was disturbed by what I was saying, and I was preparing for a difficult conversation, and that is not what happened. What happened was this student came up to me and expressed that he had just moved here from a different state, and he was really, really having a problem with the COVID measures in school. He wasn't able to get a foothold socially or academically. He didn't know his peers. He wasn't doing well in school, and he thought that was a big reason for it. And he felt like he couldn't express that. And he said that what me and the other students that helped organize this did allowed him to A, know that there were people who agreed with him, that he wasn't alone, and that B, he could express his opinions. And that was big. And what it taught me is that if you're afraid to express an opinion, it's worth it to try and get over that fear, because if you're afraid to express that opinion, odds are someone else is too. And when you fight past that fear, And when you get over that, when you take that leap, what you can be doing is empowering someone else to use their voice when they felt like they didn't have one. And that means a lot. Thank you.